friends, it's Amy at Doki Doki Forest. Welcome. I'm so glad you are here. And guess what? We have more Glue Book January pages to share with you. I am so surprised because I thought I was going to do a different project and share that today, but instead all I wanted to do last night and this morning was glue. So I was able to get a few more pages done, so I figured I would share them with you. Glue Book January was created by Caged Fish. I will have the information down below. And it is a daily challenge in January where different prompts are given out and you have to find the images and make glue book pages. So here we have day 17. We have red car, which I know I'm stretching there. We have bat. So of course I had to include Batman. We have beetle. And we have horse, which was strange because we just had horse a couple of days ago. But horse was on there again, so we're going to do horse. And the last one was steering wheel. Couple images there. I really love that picture. Okay, so let's get into it and figure out what we are going to do with these images and how we're going to get them to work. Now, red car, I searched. I really didn't have anything, any images that were red cars, but I did find this one of pink getting out of a red car, and I thought, well, you know, it also has a steering wheel, so I can sort of knock out two prompts with one picture, even though, you know, you don't see a lot of that red car. But you do have the top of the car, a little bit of the left side, and also the bottom, so I figure, you know, you can tell it's a red car, even if, you know, there's not a whole lot of it to see. As long as I leave the bits of red that are there intact. Oh, I just cut off the top of the car, so okay, we have less of the red car than we had before, but I think it's still enough. You know, I don't know. That was the best I could do with using up my images. Now, Batman, I wanted to give him a good trimming here, kind of fussy cut all those little bits and pieces there out, so that way you could see the bats flying behind him. I thought he could look really dramatic, so I'm going to double bat this page. We've got the bat background and Batman, but I love it because then I've covered up both sides of the pages. I had two nice big images, and between the two of them, they covered up like 96%. Why did I pick 96? I don't know. 96% of the pages. And then what's left, I'm just going to take some more bats and cover them up. So there's just bats flying everywhere dramatically behind Batman. And then I'm figuring out this horse. I'm not sure which horse image I'm going to use. I was just looking at these, you know, the other day when I was making my previous page. So while I'm thinking about that, I'll cut out this little beetle. And I didn't want to fussy cut the beetle too much. I wanted to leave the white border so that way you could see the legs. So it looks kind of more like a sticker with the, you know, white around it. So I'm going through my horses and I'm thinking, oh, maybe Batman could be like standing on the horse. How am I going to do that though? And that horse picture at the bottom there, I was even thinking maybe I could somehow make it look like the horse is the passenger in the car sitting next to Pink. But I really couldn't figure out how I would be able to do that without really cutting up that image, and I was kind of afraid I would ruin it. So, and then I didn't even know if the horse head would look right or if it would just look really bizarre. So I kind of scrapped that idea and I'm trying to figure out what else I have, figure out where that beetle goes. And I thought it might be kind of cute if it looked like it was perched on her hand. So that's like her little friend there. It's her co-pilot maybe. So I looked through my bins again. I found this image of horses, and I'm going to cut this out and see how this one looks, because I like how the horses are like blurry. They're in motion. And again, I'm trying to figure out how to have Batman, you know, sort of interact with them and yet still have him placed where he is there. I like how he kind of connects the bat picture with the car picture. If I put him, there's not like a harsh line there separating the images. He sort of makes it all kind of blend together, at least I think, or in my mind, it looks better to have him there. So I'm like, his legs are kind of in this strange position. They looked really good when he was like posing on the gargoyle on the building, but now it's looking kind of weird for like riding a horse. And for this page, I'm thinking Pink pulls up in a car. She's like, "Hey, Batsy, want to ride?" And he's like, "No, I have all the horsepower I need right here." It's just a ridiculous little snippet. But sometimes that's all you need for your pages. Now we are on to day 18. We have Hedgehog. How cute. We have Penguin. We have Tiger. Koala. And I have a few different koala pictures to choose from. Always good to have choices. And finally, Seahorse. And that's a big image there. So this was an Animal Palooza, and a lot of these images are big. So the challenge is, how do I get these to work? Because I looked and I couldn't find another image of a tiger, and I couldn't find another image of a penguin or a seahorse, and I'm pretty sure I got all my koala pictures. Oh, and the hedgehog, I only had that one picture of. So I'm trying to make this work. I really like how the seahorse looks on the left there, and I love that he covers the whole page. So I figured, okay, he's under the water, so let me put this penguin over there, because the penguin's underwater as well. So they sort of go together, and then I'll have the penguin sort of swimming across the page there, and I wanted to rip the edges of the penguin so it kind of doesn't blend in with the other images, but I just like the look of it. I like ripped edges and cut edges. They both work for different things, just depends what kind of look you're going for. And this little koala, I didn't know where he was going to go, because I felt like everywhere I put him, he was sort of in front of somebody. So while I'm thinking about it, I'm just going to cut out these little sections that are sort of like in between. And then I went and I double checked. I found 2 more seahorse pictures, and I found 1 penguin picture, but I found no other tiger pictures. I was surprised, because I'm Year of the Tiger, so I thought for sure I must have collected a ton of tiger images, and literally this was my only one. And I love this image, but it's just so big. And these penguins are adorable, but they're also kind of taking up the page, and then when I go to put the other characters on there, they're either blocking the penguins, or to me it just didn't click. There's no right and wrong. It's just, when you're looking at it, sometimes you think like, oh yeah, that's it. And sometimes you're just, like I said, it just doesn't click for you. And there's, it's just your eye. It's how you see things, and some things look good, some things don't. So I'm going back to my original seahorse. I like this one, and I'm going back to my original penguin because I just really liked how they looked together. So I'm making the commitment for that seahorse. I know I want that guy there. The tiger, I know I have to glue because that's my only option. And then I just have to figure out how to make everything else work. And at this point, I still wasn't sure exactly which koala I was going to use. So I'm trimming up the pages because that way when I go to put something else on top, when I'm layering, I know exactly where the image ends. So I trim as I go just to clean it up, and also so I have a better idea of, if I'm putting something on top, where exactly it's going to sit, where does it get cut off. So that's why I keep trimming every time I glue something down that's hanging off the page. The funny thing is, too, is that I'll probably find a tiger image when I'm not looking for it, because I feel like that keeps happening. I was looking for a gorilla picture the other day. I could not find one. And then today, when I was looking for a tiger, I had a gorilla picture in there. And it happened with something else, too. So it's kind of funny how even when you're looking for something and you're like telling yourself, I'm looking for, say, a hedgehog, you can still miss things. So it's good to go back and have a second look. I was thinking I'll probably find a red car image next because I looked so many times, could not find it. I bet I'll find one like tomorrow. And I'm pressing in that seahorse page because it keeps trying to pop up off the middle. And as I held the koala up to the seahorse, an idea emerged. Perhaps if I just carefully trim away the tree, you gotta watch all those 5 toes, I don't want to cut them off, but just take the tree away, and then the koala could be clinging to something else. There he is, all cleaned up, and he's got his seahorse buddy. They are traveling together. Now, are they both traveling underwater together, or can this seahorse come like right up out of the water and just, fly around? Who knows? Now, this was a bummer because I know I filmed these images before I started working with it, but I can't find the footage. Therefore, I'm thinking I thought I pressed record and I must not have. So I apologize for this day, but I will tell you day 19 is Wizard. So I have that image of Dumbledore back there. Tooth. So I have that alligator or crocodile mouth there with all those big teeth. Chocolate bar, which I'm putting in now. It's like a sardine, but it's a chocolate bar. So that was pretty wild. Then there was Barbie, and I have a bunch of Barbie images, and this is the one I liked the most. And then there was Shadow, and I had an image of a lady that had a shadow across her face, but then I realized that image of Dumbledore, there's Severus Snape in the background, like a shadow. He's in the shadows. I'll put a picture here. So there you can see, clearly, Severus Snape. But it's pretty cool because when you look at it like right there, looking down at it, you can vaguely see it, but it's not as obvious. So my thought for this page was that there is this group of ladies and they are having a conversation. They are either watching the movies, Harry Potter movies, perhaps they're reading the books. I like to imagine they're reading the books and they're discussing Severus Snape and they're wondering, do you think he's a bad guy? Do you think he's a good guy? Do you think, he's with Dumbledore? Is he against Dumbledore? They're having like a whole conversation. And the teeth, I was thinking, could even be like basilisk teeth, if you want to tie in the Harry Potter theme. So these ladies are having a discussion. Now, why is the chocolate there? I don't know. Oh, you know what? Maybe they're thinking, something's fishy about that Severus Snape. I don't trust him. And then someone else is like, oh, I totally trust him. He's got Harry's back for sure. He would never betray Dumbledore. And then the other lady's like, you are crazy. Don't trust him. So it's a whole conversation, and, clearly they haven't read the entire series, so they don't know. It's like one of those exciting times when you're really into a show or movie and you're trying to predict the ending. Okay, so now we move on to day 20. So for day 20, the prompts were green thumb. So I have a few different images for that I thought kind of went with the theme. You're good with plants. You've got a green thumb. Microphone. Ballet slippers. Pencil. And tennis shoes. She's playing tennis and she's wearing shoes. So those are tennis shoes. Now, some of these I had a hard time with. I did print out that tennis shoes picture. That was a Life magazine cover. So I liked that a lot. And I just loved her pose. And I just thought it was different and a nice illustration style. But let's get her off of that background. There we go. Fussy cut her right out so we can really see her in action. And the ballet dancer as well, I thought, let's just free her from that background, and that way we can really see the slippers. They're featured instead of her getting a little bit lost in that big image. And she almost looks like a little fairy now because she's small-sized. So the picture of the lady singing with the microphone, I know I'm going to use that. That's my only picture. And then pencils, that was my only pencil picture. And again, I'm leaving a little bit of a border on those pencils because I didn't want to cut them too close. And so that looks kind of like a sticker. And I like having this lady playing tennis sort of going through both of the images. I feel like she helps kind of pull it together. And I'm just moving things around to figure out, how to place everything and where I want it to go before I start gluing. And I knew I wanted to have a rough edge at the bottom. I just felt like that would help blend the pictures together. And I think it really does make a big difference here. So the story for this page came to me slowly. At first, I wasn't sure, but then I realized that it was about this singer, and she writes this music, and she's inspired by her muse. And then I thought, muse, shoes. So then I thought she's writing a song called My Muse Wears Tennis Shoes. And then I came up with this little poem. My muse, wears tennis shoes. I asked her one time, but why would you choose to wear such things? I am so confused. She smiled and said, honey, it's tennis or booze. And I did say confuse rather than confused on purpose, just so it would rhyme. And there's also this quote that I came up with, keep your pencils nearby when she reaches for the sky. So when you see that muse playing tennis, time to get your pencil out. Okay, this is our last day, day 21. We have mouse, lollipop. I did have to print these out, and that's like an AI lollipop lady. Cute monster. Got some really cute monsters there. Those little Jellycat stuffies are so cute. And golf cart, I had to print that out because I could not, I don't have a picture of a golf cart. And shovel. So right away, I know that I like this contrast, the juxtaposition between the black and white and this like vibrant full color lady. And I also love the way Batgirl's looking and the lady next to her. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. But I like the way they're both looking. And I was thinking, what are they looking at? Well, they're looking at this lollipop lady. And they're like, what the heck is that? Who is that? What is that? And where are we? Maybe it's a new Batman villain that we've never heard of before. And then the shovel was this nice large shovel. So I thought that's perfect for going up along the side there and kind of finishing off the page. And I decided I'd like to put those lollipops behind this golf cart. So I'm going to carefully try to cut out the background and just leave the cart and the ladies. And I'm thinking that they went for this drive and somehow wound up going from a world where everything was black and white to this full color land. And they are just in awe of everything they're seeing. So I want to have the lollipops behind them and sort of make it look like they're entering into this new world. And they are amazed by everything they're seeing. So we're going to have double lollipops on here. We'll have the lollipops behind them, and we'll also have the lollipop lady, who I decided is a lollipop queen. Maybe she's the queen of this whole colorful world they've discovered, and she does not want them there. I don't know why. Maybe she is a new villain for them to battle, but this lollipop queen is like, turn back now, or I'll get my shovel. I'll bury you. So they're like, whoa, okay, like how fast can we turn this cart around? And then I still have the little monster, so I thought, well, the monster could be, her little minion. He almost kind of looks like a minion because he has like the one eye like Stuart. And then there is the mouse, which I wasn't exactly sure how the mouse was going to fit in. The mouse is black and white. So I was kind of thinking maybe the mouse somehow was on the golf cart when they came through. And the mouse is like, I'll help you, Batgirl. Candy? Rice Krispie treats? I got this. So yeah, this mouse might be able to defeat this whole place if it's made out of candy because, mice can eat a lot. They like candy. And I know because one time they got into a whole bag of chocolate chips here. So our pages are done for today. And who knows, I might start gluing again pretty soon. I'm even thinking I might be able to get this glue book January prompt challenge done before February's over. No pressure, of course, on myself, but I'm feeling good. So that page is done. We have our animal party here. I don't have a story per se, but that doesn't mean one won't pop in at some point and I could write one, especially now that that little koala is like holding on to that seahorse. I feel like those are little characters, so I feel like a story is percolating. And then we have our, let's see if you can see Snape pretty good when I hold this up. Yeah, there we go. Now you can kind of see him back there, but the whole do we trust Snape or no? There's like water cooler talk and then there's like bathtub talk. And then here's the muse with tennis shoes. Do you have a muse with tennis shoes as well? I actually really love this page and it's just so random. I mean, when I read the prompts, I was like, I don't know how to make this work. And I love it. And finally, we have our trip to Candyland. And it's not exactly as fun as the board game makes it out to be. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I appreciate you spending time here. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again soon.